Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Now that you're gone, I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to move. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I stand back and I watch you explore. Imperfect visions, like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. to find. Memories show that I'm out of time. See a shadow, don't know if it's mine, but I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you, I
Week 7 is upon us here as we are set to go for some more League of Legends action. I'm very excited to see how the teams are starting to round out the rest of their regular season as we get closer and closer to playoffs. That is quite literally around the corner. My name is Orbital. With me is the best minion to ever wander off the rift. It is Random Minion Caster, and we will be your casters for tonight's matchup. RMC, how you doing today?
Well, Orbital, as you mentioned, we are right around the corner from playoffs. This is actually the last week of regular season for most, if not all, the divisions. And for tonight, we've got an interesting matchup where things aren't quite settled in their division yet. So tonight matters. It's Div 7 East A, and we've got ourselves the 5th place team, University of Southern Maine Huskies, up against the 6th place team, Dalhousie University Iron. Now, I believe, if I've been told correctly, the top 4 make playoffs. Now, what is interesting in this division, Orbital, is that from 2nd place to 8th place, they are currently separated by 1 win. So,
Oh my god.
it's kind of chaos in the division right now. Anyone can take it, and tonight the Huskies are going up against Dalhousie Iron to try and secure themselves that playoff berth.
And not just that, it also means the number of games scored will be very important as well. Winning by a 2-0 fault versus a 2-1 can have some merit on the standings following through, which is going to be quite fun. I'm very excited to see what they can throw down for the University of Southern Maine Huskies. We got Near Ultima, Mind Controlled, Art of Play, Bork, hashtag 3273, no idea what that means, and then Bang Bang Ow. Solid names all the way through.
And on the other side, of course, Dalhousie Iron. We've got Autumn in the top lane. F. Scott Rift Herald as their jungler. That's an awesome name. Pro Duel as their mid laner, former top laner for them. Cooter Thug in the AD carry role. And I Miss Gale Force as their support. That must have been a former AD carry mate. No Enchanter support is going to miss Gale Force.
That is 100% fair. And I think with all the items that have been in and out of the season, makes sense. Some people have favorites. I personally miss Twin Shadows, and I wish Twin Shadows came back because it made it a lot easier to hit right at the arcane. You can tell where my mind's at. We're looking at this matchup, though, and I 100% agree that this is going to be a very important one for the playoffs. You need to win, and you don't need to just win, but you also need to show that you have the ability to punch hard. I think winning by a 2-0 status here, especially for University of Southern Maine, will be very important, and when it comes to that, no one else stands out in my mind except Mind Control. This jungler for them has been very good in terms of playing through a carry role, which normally we see allocated more towards the top and mid with how things have transitioned. Jungle has stood out at times, but it's rare that we get someone like Mind Controlled.
Fair enough, and for University of Southern Maine as well, they didn't play in NECC last, but they're actually over at the ECAC. In previous years, the school has played in NECC, but for this roster, I believe most of them are actually new to the league. Now, the team of Mind Control, Art of Hui, and I believe it was Bang Bang Ao, are players who played together last semester as well. And then we've got Nier Ultima and Bork coming in, who are a bit newer. So the core really is around that sort of mid-jungle support. I'm expecting to see Bam Bam Ao roam a little bit, work with Mind Control, back up Art of Hui, who is their captain, and that's the core of it. And then Bork, well, that bot lane could be really interesting. He really likes his Tristana, and Tristana's a very explosive lane. So I'm actually really curious to see how that works out if we're seeing the sort of older core working together and focusing more on that sort of mid or jungle part of the game.
Yeah, for Bang Bang Ao is just slashing ankles, pretty much. I will not tell you which champion they main, because I don't want to ever say that name and see it on my screen. On the other side for Dalhousie University Iron, though, they're coming through in a little different status. They actually have been playing in the NECC before, but RMC, you mentioned very specifically, promoted from Div 8 up into Div 7 here. So the fact that they're fighting for the playoff berth right now is, I think, a pretty strong showing for them.
Yeah, and having promoted from Div 8 to Div 7, I had a chance to speak to the manager and former mid laner as well, Dohi, and she was kind of saying that, well, it didn't feel that different for them, so it does feel like, they were ready for that promotion, moving up a level. They've got both teams actually have some very interesting picks and bits of shared champion pool, so we'll kind of see how that ends up working in draft. But one thing I really liked about how they kind of described Dalhousie Iron's team was that they've got just really good vibes, that they work best, when everybody's joking around, when, the communication's flowing, and that's what I want to see in-game as well, especially come the mid-game. They do like their team fight compositions, and, if the vibes are good, team fight wombo combo, that wins you games.
Yeah, and I think that's something that it's always fun talking about in the competitive space with a lot of eyes now on the grassroots scene and the tier 2 scene. Shout out FlyQuest on that one. The eyes of watching a lot of these players, it's interesting. You talk to some coaches and they say you can always try and teach more mechanics. It's actually easier to teach mechanic than it is to teach like good mental and learning how to play as a team and learning how to properly like take accountability for your own actions, mistakes, and all that stuff. The fact that for Dalhousie Iron, they are very specifically like a good vibes team. Makes me very happy, but also very worried, because whenever they use the word vibes, it also means that things go sideways. How do you recuperate from those sideways situations? How do you bounce back? Is it still good vibes all the way to your Nexus exploding, or is it good vibes as you find ways to deal with your opponent?
Yeah, and that will be one of the questions we get to see. But Orbital will, to kind of answer that question, they've got to put themselves in a losing position first. And I suspect a lot of the game might hinge more on the early games. We talked about mind control for USM, but for Dalhousie Iron, F. Scott Rift Herald. I'm going to say the wrong name at one point.
Beautiful name.
F. Scott over there. He also was a very active jungler. In fact, he was described to me specifically as somebody who likes to gather all of the objectives similar to Infinity Stone. So I guess maybe not so much gank heavy, but objective focused. And that might be a bit of a contrast between the two junglers, where Mind Control might go for a bit more ganks. F. Scott might kind of go for objective control. And then we'll see how that ends up panning out, whether that does put Dalhousie Iron a little bit behind in their lane. So far from their games, it hasn't looked like the case, but this will be the first time these two teams are matching up this split.
Yeah, I'm taking a look already. They have done their homework. The Jax and the Shaco. As I said, there are some champions here that we don't really want to see, and these are very targeted. And I like in Div 7, I will say, personally, I love Div 1. Don't get me wrong. I love watching Pro League. I love knowing the champions that are going to come. I like watching Div 5, Div 6, Div 7. I want to see those unique picks to come out, and it's respected on both ends as well. The Akshan and the LeBlanc targeted a little bit more towards that mid-ADC position. I like it already. For USM, they're saying, look, we got to be focused a little bit more on these prio picks that will snowball very heavily, which is why we're also seeing the Tristana band away.
Yeah, we talked about Tristana for Bork. The Shaco, we should specify, is actually a support Shaco. Batman Al has apparently 1.4 million mastery points on that champion, so really needs to be taken away. And then the Jax is actually not for Nier in the top lane. It's more for Mind Controlled in the jungle, where he has been a big carry on that particular champion, even if it's not necessarily his most played. Whereas the Akshan targeted Pro Duel a little bit on Dalhousie Iron, which is an interesting one because he was a top laner, moved to mid lane, but still likes his duels, still wins out his lane 1v1. So giving him a champion like Akshan, which is so mobile and good at kind of trading, is a huge risk. For now, though, it's going to be the Misfortune pickup, a contested pick between both AD carries and a core part of that team fighting we were talking about for Dalhousie Iron.
Oh, another core part of a team fight brings the rock to the table on that R1. You got to get a safe top laner in there. Very, very rockin'. And, if it's Shamrock Green, go ahead and miss out on what Tuesday was. You also grab the Silas in the same turn. I think this is very respected, considering if you're looking at the other side. I believe for Dalhousie's side, I think Pro Duel actually, might be able to. But I feel like anyone could play as Silas. And you don't want that going against the Malphite Nautilus to be paired with the Misfortune.
I'm actually low-key a little bit interested in where this Silas might go. Because normally, you'd think it's like, okay, a Silas has to be mid lane, but you're picking it blind, which is really, really risky. And the guy playing it's known as the Art of Hui. Hui and Silas are very different champions. Like, I don't... Very little in between. So I have seen Silas jungle, and I've seen Silas support before as well. And Silas support into tanks is actually not the worst. So we'll see how that goes. The Amumu, though, being picked up, we've seen Amumu, I think, more support than we have seen in the jungle, but a lot of flexibility on the USM side, whereas Dalhousie, pretty straightforward. Karthus right now is still mostly a jungler. You've got an AD carry, you've got a support, and you're looking for your solo lanes.
I mean, this is as team fight as you can get. The Amumu on the other side, very much lined up with the wombo combo aspect. You're banning out other pieces of a wombo combo on the other side. So basically trying to chip away at a rock that could be rolling at you at the exact same time. So I really am respecting the very, I want to say, direct route that these teams are going for here in the second round of the ban phase. Targeted, though, is the fact that we see the Hui ban out. Now, as you said, the Silas may or may not be going towards that mid, so you got to cover all of your angles right now. And with the Art of Hui, the fact that it actually rolled into the second round ban phase is quite surprising. There's the Aurelia ban sent directly over towards a little bit of that mid lane, I believe, because, top lane still. A little bit focused on Autumn, who she could have that one, and then the Sivir at the end. Just don't want to give that speed boost.
Yeah, the IRL, I think, what was more for Pro Duel. As you mentioned, he used to be a top laner. But yeah, for the Ornn, definitely a great sort of deny away from Autumn. She's the newest member of the Dalhousie squad, and she is a weak side queen, especially on the Ornn. You take that away, you've already taken away the Malphite as well, and you've kind of removed a lot of the top side, weak side team tank, team fight initiators. There's still Scion, but I don't know if Autumn actually plays the Scion. For now, though, USM with the Caitlyn to try and bully out that misfortune a little bit. So all the flexes still alive for USM. And we were talking about Autumn. Where's she going to go? She picked up a Garen, I guess. So that's kind of lane dominance. If that goes into the Malphite, I don't know if that's the easiest lane to try and play a Garen into.
Yeah, and not just that, the Vladimir in the mid, this is actually shifting away from a very team fight centric to a very self-sustained team fight aspect. We're looking at champions that maybe don't combine as easily into a wombo combo, but more sustained battle. They're able to stay alive, they're able to bring this fight to a very long duel. And I actually don't dislike it. It's just going to be surprising to me to see how they pull it off, especially when you grab a Misfortune in B1. I was hoping for a little bit more CC in there. For USM, though, they go all in on that CC, and maybe a little bit too much. They pair the Galio with that Misfortune at the very end, and I'm actually a little bit worried with how short range they are walking into the likes of a Vladimir, Garen, and a Karthus.
Yeah, and I'm still looking at this Galio orbital for USM, and I thought, sometimes
where does it go?
You're waiting for the boss. Like, yeah, but right now I'm still looking at it going like, well, where's everybody going? I don't really know. Okay, I think Malphite for top lane makes sense. Nier Ultima's most played champion is Malphite, so that one's probably going up to the top lane. And it's really the Amumu Galio Silas that we're not quite sure where they might end up.
Amumu support?
Could be. I mean, the thing is, okay, so Galio can't jungle. So that's going to be mid or support for sure. That leaves either Silas or Amumu in the jungle. And then, yeah, it could still be a bit of a swap. We're going to have to see. Yeah, I'm actually really curious how that one works out. Because now that you see what's in the mid lane, I feel like Silas into Vladimir actually feels really bad for the Silas. It's one of the lanes you can't really bully or out lane. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. Silas in the jungle. You don't want it in the mid lane. Galio into Vladimir can sustain the lane and you just kind of push back and forth. But it was a better option than Silas. So, USM with all their flexes, I think, will be okay in the laning phase. And really, I'm looking more at the bot side. If we're looking at a lane for USM that can try and pop off.
All right, we'll see if they can do it. We're on to the rid for game number 1. It is your seedings and playoff hopes on the line, but the good vibes are always there as well. Whether you play for good vibes or the money, though, is a whole different story. Remember, talk with your teammates about which is more important to you. We are looking at these lane matchups, though, and it is going to be the Amumu and the Caitlyn already stepping into the battlefield, trying to get Cooter Thug and Gale Force down early. Actually stepped all the way forward into that lane phase, which is why Thug is currently sitting with about 100 HP off their HP bar.
Yeah, this bot side matchup is kind of interesting too, because Misfortunes actually is a lane dominant AD carry, but usually because she's able to trade and just out trade in those short sort of bursts of damage. But against Caitlyn, she outranges you pretty heavily. The only way you're really trading with the Caitlyn is you get very lucky with the double up and get the angles right, which is a little bit tough because, League sometimes it shouldn't be RNG, but the angles make it a little bit RNG. Or if you can make it rain repeatedly. We're already seeing right from the get-go, Cooter has to burn the barrier.
Wow, and actually a little bit over-aggressive. It feels like Barry was used, Exhaust as well, and these are a lot of the offensive summoner cells being burned early, all at level 1, so a lot of the books are not being held up as much as they would like. We are going to go back to us, though, to kind of cool off of that early fight, but I give credit. Very early fight from the Huskies. Level 1, which is a little bit more surprising to me, but it makes sense because the Nautilus, if you hit level 2 and 3, way more in the utility belt at that point.
Yeah, it's doubly interesting because a lot of times the way the Caitlyn Misfortune lane likes to interact is actually Caitlyn just pokes you down, chips you with the range first, and then she all-ins you when she's feeling stronger. But because they knew that, as you pointed out, Nautilus level 1 not the strongest, Bang Bang Owl was just willing to say, okay, I will initiate on this. I have double stun. We're good for this. And really, good trust and confidence on Bang Bang Owl to kind of trust that Bork would be able to pick the right target and would be able to do enough damage. We are getting a repeat. This is what happened the first time.
Yes.
It's not, it's a bit of a replay. And you can see right here, Bam Bam Mao actually looks with the re-engage onto Gale Force because he's that confident that Bork is going to still be around, get the damage, and maybe they can bait a little bit more from Cooter. Then that's what gets them the actual win on the trade. If Bang Bang Mao had not gone back in, the trade is a lot more equal.
Yeah, I actually agree with that one, and we're seeing here that for Bork, you're kind of okay with that. You're the only one sitting out with a lot of HP left. You didn't have to burn a pot, you didn't have to burn a single summoner spell, And once we get to see maybe the junglers finish up their clears, I mean, you're going to be full health. You're going to be perfectly fine. And you know that Cooter and Gale Force aren't really going to be able to fight unless they're willing to sacrifice their life. On the top side, we take a look at Nier Ultima, who is currently out of mana, which always kind of hurts to see for a Malphite. Even though you have the Doran's Ring, it means that this Garen will now have a lot of free reign to bully you out.
Yeah, the nice part for Malphite, though, is he is a tank, and I assume this is not going to be the AP Malphite build. I could yet be wrong. We'll see how that goes, but generally speaking, if you are going tank Malphite, even if you go down a little bit, it's fine, and you can still lane quite effectively into the Garen. It's interesting to me that actually both of them have run Ignite. Bam missing the bandage toss.
And then a miss on the hook as well, so multiple misses actually leaves everyone a little bit low, and that's Borg to still come out on top for that one. Wild twist of events, double hook misses, leaves Gale Force dead.
And Borg running them down. You can almost hear the barking go off in the background as he flashes forward to secure first blood. But hey, if you're an AD carry, you take that 100% of the time, and Cooter is now in a very awkward position as well, very low on health, out of way. Just looking for the trade onto Pro Duel, but yikes, that's getting real close. Where are our junglers, Orbital? I feel like there's so many gank options everywhere. It's so tasty for junglers when everybody's in low health.
It is, but you also got to realize these are champions that may not have the fastest clears. I mean, yes, F. Scott Richter does. You're looking at a Karthus that is very fast, but you also have a Karthus that wants to make sure to get the items up, hit that level 6, immediately use that Requiem as soon as possible. Makes sense in that regard. But as you said, hey, it's time. You're looking for that scuttle. It's a little different pathing for F. Scott. The fact that they recalled before they went for that scuttle on the top side, but now you get to duel in case Mind Control comes this way. However, in the mid lane, it is Mind Control saying, hey, use your ability. You're going to go down. No red buff to burn, but one more flash to do it. But you stutter. You miss your auto attack. That's Pro Duel to step right back up in the mix. The chain back ain't going to work as Pro Duel picks up that kill.
A game of inches in these trades that we're seeing bot lane, mid lane. All those kill shots are so incredibly close, but that's why I was kind of waiting to see which jungler would move first, who would actually get there. Unfortunately for Mind Control, technically he was the first jungler who got there, but it wasn't a gank. He was just kind of in lane, and now Art of Hui might pay a price.
No. Nowhere to go. You just TP'd back and you flashed as well. Pro Duel given the most proactive move ever in the mid with 2 kills.
Man, Art of the Hui on one side, Art of the Bait on the other. Pro Duel playing on slivers of health, and he did it twice. Once the Mind Control, and once the Art of Hui. And now this Vladimir is grossly accelerated. We don't see a lot of Vladimir nowadays, because the pace of the game feels a lot faster than what you want to see from a Vladimir. And he doesn't get enough of that early game control, especially in the mid lane, to really enable your jungler. But late game, he's always been a beast, and he's a force multiplier for your team and for himself and what he can do in sort of his AoE damage against multiple members of the enemy team. The more enemies, the more damage he does. Now, he gets accelerated, and he gives 2 assists to that Karthus we were talking about. That Requiem's going to come online just that much faster, and that impacts not just the mid lane, not just F. Scott's clear speed, but the potential kills that can come down when bot side has so much all-in potential, when top side has an execute plus a Requiem in back pocket.
Yeah, there's so much that's going to be in the faces of this USM squad, and for them, remember, they are the ones that are closest to kind of giving themselves a good breather with this win. For, of course, for Dalhousie, they're just chasing. They just want to open up an opportunity. They're going basically from, I want to say, like a 40% chance to maybe like a 55-60% chance of victory. They're the ones sitting on 2-4. So a 3-4 record would make them tied with University of Southern Maine Huskies. So it's this whole deal that everyone's battling for, and you can't really be making mistakes. The mistake this time, though, is for Borg, who doesn't have flash and has no way out. Once that hook lands, it's a free pickup for F. Scott Rift Herald.
And if the early fights Orbital were sort of determined a lot by missed CC, that one is landing CC. Another great dodge from F. Scott.
And it's now just a straight up battle inside that river, which will lead to a win for Mind Control, but only one, though, because the rest of the fight afterwards is all Cooter Thug. A flash forward, one last auto will take it, and you get the double kill. Big win all around for Dalhousie here in the bottom lane.
And F. Scott with the 100% kill participation right now. Art of Hui almost goes down, and that would have broken the 100% kill participation. But yeah, right now Dalhousie Iron just kind of firing on all cylinders individually in their lanes. And I want to highlight this Karthus that we keep seeing, because that 100% kill participation, it's not even about the gold, it's about the XP.
Oh no. I don't know if Bork likes this. Even if you get a trade
Did he
out,
get
it's not going
this?
to be in favor of
Gets what?
final. Net will go through.
dragon!
But last auto is good. Lethal tempo doing the damage and allows
Oh,
Mind Control to
no!
come back in. It looks like an overstay from Dalhousie. Mess them up. A burn from the Karthus will bleed dry one, but it's still a 1 for 2, and now a dragon being attempted by USM.
1 for 3, and a lot of damage was put down on Bang Bang Ao as well as Mind Control. They should be able to secure this, but we were just talking about how Dalhousie Iron looked like they were running away with all of this, and then they made a mistake. They went for the dragon without the jungler. They went without a true tank when they were low on health, and that's what cost them everything. And just like that, the game's completely reset. USM actually have dragon in pocket, so for all the good work Dalhousie did earlier, USM are by the slightest of margins in the lead.
Yeah, that's a big win. You're right back in a comfortable spot, and the vibes hopefully are kicking. You know, you're not playing for 50K, but it's still pretty close to it. So gotta get the vibes up, gotta keep it safe, and be happy about the current state of the game. You can see where the gold is, though. Even if you're even if USM is in the lead, the disparities between the lanes is a little bit different. Bot side, yes, Bork is great, but Art of Play is still a little bit behind. Near Ultima is still a little bit behind. Mind Controlled is just even, and you know some of those lanes might come back to bite them.
Yeah, and I don't think either team are particularly upset about their gold distribution right now. Pro Duel? Okay. Not kill potential yet. I mean, with the Hemo Plague up, I do feel like there's dive potential, so we have to keep an eye on the mid lane. But the gold distribution, sure, Art of Way is behind. But that's fine. They're not he's not the carry of the team necessarily. Okay, we did see Requiem go down. I'm actually wondering who they were looking... Wait, hold on. That was... Oh no, that was Mind Control's Requiem. I was so confused for a second.
I was looking around as well, but it looks like you were just trying to get some extra damage. Had to use it before things went sideways, and so you're safe at the current moment. Go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, man, Silas ult, man, completely throw me off. Yeah, so the gold distribution, I think USM is fine with it. It's on their carries, and that's the people they wanted on Mind Control, on Bork early on. The bigger question for me, Dalhousie, is what they can do with their goalie. Mind Control steals one of the grubs away. Okay, so 1 for 2 does actually Flash to do it, and that's an interesting choice. Now, 5 minutes or a little bit less than that for Flash to come back up. Dragon comes up in 3, and for Silas, it's such a strong mobility spell.
Uh-oh. Well, Bang Bang Owl looking to try and get some sort of advantage, but that's the exhaust coming down.
It's so hard.
Bullet time across the entire backside, and he's still in range, which allows the double up to punch you in the backside. Kudathug and Galeforce win in the bot side. 1 kill for them.
You know what? For Bam Bam Ao, I feel like... I don't blame him for what he did, right? Like, he saw the angle.
Yeah.
That was what worked the first time. They all win, but it just took a little bit too long. Really well played from Cooter to be able to space out and make sure that they didn't get caught by the Curse of the Sad Mummy till it was way too late and got the free bullet time off. Duel, bro.
Well, that's going to be another taunt. One more auto could do it, but no, the healing is just too dang good. Art of Way, though, saying I can fight a little bit more. What a flash, and I don't know if that was fully worth it, but a flash out from Art of Way as well means that we're all even out on the summer spells.
Okay, so the flash from Pro Duel is actually kind of worth it. It's baiting to make that happen, and this is why.
Oh, that's the punch to finish, though. But the true Requiem will claim a life in return, so it's a 1 for 1 at the end of the day.
Yeah, so the idea for Pro Duel on that flash is if he can create that space, he's good to go. He still has the Sanguine Pool, and then he's going to be able to control the range.
Yep.
Cooter's thought. Bullet time being stolen by Mind Control. That's actually the big out I think that Mind Control wanted to steal. Like when they picked the Silas, it was with the idea of taking the bullet time and being able to actually wombo their own combo.
That'd be fair. That'd be fair. Are they going to be able to pull it off? It's a whole different question, as Mind Control is still within the range. That is a visual bug if I've ever seen one, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen, but either that or that just means that you hijacked an ult, but I've never seen a Silas go straight up glitch mode.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious what kind of caused that to happen. Maybe it was because was Cooter on a trap when that happened, when he stole it the first time?
Oh, might actually. Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be a weird interaction, though. I mean, that is...
Yeah.
That can't be permanent, can it? Like,
No.
that can... I really hope not, because that would hurt my eyes while playing the game.
Yeah, because sometimes like when you're under certain status effects, it does weird things when Silas hijacks. League of Legends, Spaghetti Code Man, always has been. But he usually reverts at some point, so that should be fine. Top lane, the orbital, we've not been up here for... hasn't resolved yet. I think it'll be after the bullet time bit, probably. Ooh,
we'll see if it happens. Of course, you were looking. But For Autumn said, okay, well, it's just Autumn, of course, but hey, I don't want to fight. I just want to go back to farming. And farm they have done. She's been excellent in the CS department, 102 to 63, which, again, a Garen versus a Malphite, it's to be expected. However, Mind Control looking for a chance in the mid lane, and we'll go ahead and dance on their faces. There's a bullet time across only one, but he exhausted so much work. Another taunts come out here, but it ain't going to land on anyone, which allows Autumn to just jump right in and help assist Pro Duel up to 3, 2, and 1.
Pro Duel has to be careful. No flash, no ghost, and bang bang ow.
I mean, that's okay. That's aggressive as all heck, and I love it. So aggressive from Bang Bang Ow, who so far hasn't had the greatest wins, but hold up in the bot side. It was a catch out. After you saw Bang Bang Ow in the mid, you jumped straight for that ADC. Wins across the entirety of Summoner's Rift.
And Loki, that was one of the questions we had asked, right? When we expect to see Bang Bang Owl roaming out, working with Mind Control and Art of Way a lot more, so playing around that mid lane in the jungle. But that does leave Bork a little bit exposed, and right there you saw Gale Force finally has the ultimate unlocked. In fact, the last time we looked at the bot lane, Gale Force was only level 5, but she's finally at 7, had the ult, was willing to all in. So Dalhousie Iron kind of answering back, and even in the mid lane, I'm going to be honest, they could have just had the win if Pro Duel didn't stick around. But that's the duality, literally, of Pro Duel, is that he's looking actively for these trades. He thinks he can outplay, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The first time it worked against Art of Way, was able to dodge out on the taunt. Second time, Mind Control just walked in and Bam Bam punished the disrespect on not, recognizing that, hey, Chris the Sad Mummy is still CC, even though he was holding it for that long. He had it available at all times.
Yep, it really is just it's a gamble at the end of the day. You are playing on the knife's edge, and you know that fact for sure. Dragon is up, though, second dragon of the game. And Fertile to play for is never a bad one. It's an okay singular dragon. You always wish for the soul. But it's one that will draw a couple eyes, which is why USM are currently focused on getting a lot of vision down in enemy territory. I love that tri-brush ward, not even in the river brush. Just like, we need to see if anyone's getting close. We need to see if anyone is going to be in range to start ganking us if we look for some of these fights.
Oh, the death bush.
I talk too much. Mind Control has to run away. Flashes out to safety after stealing that death charge. Bang Bang Aldo drawing a couple eyes in as Gale Force is now going to get jumped on, who flashes away to safety on her own, but the follow-up bandage will keep them close. Double TPs coming in on opposite sides of the map, so this is near a full 5v5. Ace in the hole will land.
Watch for Pro Duel.
Start things off.
Pro Duel's in
the back line, looking for the Hemoplague. Gets it on 3. Immediately into the Requiem as well. And the bullet time to finish off some HP bars turns it into the favor of Dalhousie University Iron. Iron strikes hot and turns to steel. Big win for Dalhousie.
And unfortunately for USM and their lone surviving jungler Mind Control, it was them getting Mind Controlled by Dalhousie Iron, able to kite back once again. The ability of Cooter to position so well in these fights and for Gale Force to create that space is what's winning them these games. And Dalhousie, they get the dragon this time. They win the fight comprehensively, and they're not going to take any risks with low health bars.
I cannot believe that worked as well. Pro Duel quite literally ghosted into the middle of everyone. Just straight up ran from mid to bot side, ulted, ran straight in the middle, said, I will take your lives. Well done by the entire squad. And now with an Ocean Soul to play for, it's very disadvantageous for USM if they don't get the Dragon Control underneath them. This is a squad, as I said before, for Dalhousie. Very sustainable team fight. The longer they stay alive, the better. If they get Soul, it's huge for them.
Yeah, I'm also kind of worried about the scaling the damage to come through from USM. They've got the teamfight power, and we've seen it sort of with Nier trying to set up with Art of Way. But where's the AoE damage coming from? Right now, Mind Controlled, maybe he can get a perfect bullet time off, but he's a melee champion on this silence, and he's often in the chaos itself. He doesn't get to channel that ultimate for free the way Cooter is able to. And while Bork is a good AD carry, Caitlyn is not a teamfight AD carry. She's more about winning the lane, and Bork wasn't able to dominate the lane. The teamfight gets kind of iffy, and he's kind of in that power trough.
Oh, Autumn, great dodge, number 1. Barely has to burn anything. Not like you can burn anymore because those Flash and Ignite are down, but no HP loss means you are going to be safe. Gale Force, though, looking for a chance on Bang Bang Out. Bang Bang Out turns around. Great. Sad Mummy able to keep Pro Duel alone, but still, it's Pro Duel. Pro Duel has so much healing, so much safety here, and that might not be where you want to step. In comes the Requiem once more, flash out by Out of Way, plus a little bit extra shielding on the back end. But what a dive on Galehouse! As on the other side of the map, it's a whole different story. I don't know who went down, but that was a kill and a half. Pro Duel will burn away Bang Bang out, but on the bot side, it was a 1 for 2. Bork, as well as Mind Control, took different approaches to the battle. I think F. Scott Rift Herald died as well.
Yeah, it's just carnage across the Rift. And the kill we kind of missed was F. Scott facing off against Mind Control, and because F. Scott had to stop to channel the ultimate, he took a lot of damage from Mind Control. Basically sort of a free engage to come through now. Pro Duel gonna have to back off since Art of Way is able to run straight out to that mid lane. But all in all, that was a very good trade, favorable trade for Dalhousie. And while the jungle was what we missed, I want to highlight the bot lane. The fact that Cooter won the 1v1 against Bork. We were just talking about how Bork, Caitlyn, you're meant to win lane. You're meant to win out early. You're meant to kind of win the 1v1s. Well, with the 2 items that Cooter has completed, that's no longer the case, and USM needs to start rotating, figuring out lane assignments. Who are they sending where? Because right now they're kind of losing across every single lane.
Yeah, and once everything kind of falls apart, you may just want to start grouping up. Just like, hey, trying to group up, trying to find those wins if you can, but that in itself entails maybe losing out on some of that lane pressure that you were just talking about, RMC. You want the good lane assignments, but if you can't fight the person in the lane, it might not work. Good couple tower shots, but again, Pro Duel just going invulnerable, untouchable in that pool of blood and walking away at 4, 4, and 5, 141 CS, only behind Autumn, who is farming up a Storm and is 40 CS away from, burning away in the top side. I mean, that is a massive CS lead.
Yeah, it's really funny too, because you look at the gold and the fact that, Autumn has the most CS, but she doesn't have the most gold because her job is just to kind of split push, lock Nier into that top lane. If Nier is in there, Nier's not roaming, and we've not seen the Unstoppable Force really helping out the rest of USM in terms of team fighting. You don't want the Malphite to be stuck in that side lane split pushing. Props to Bork, actually able to take down that first turret of the game. I want to say, yep, first of the game. So hopefully that unlocks a bit more flexibility in terms of USM getting their bot lane out, helping out some of the other lanes, and or just getting sort of the team fight rolling a little bit, getting that Malphite to be able to find some combos with the Galio, maybe with the Silas, or heck, with the Amumu.
And get some form of that wombo down, cut out 1 or 2 members at a time, start getting some of those bounties that are around on the map right now. Cooter Thug specifically, 600 gold to their name. Very, very tasty in terms of getting that gold back. If you're able to get that 600, huge bounty piece, but they have been largely untouched. Both barrier and flash available means you're going to have to expend a lot to catch this one opponent. As we take a look at the state of the map though, 19.5 minutes in, a couple towers still up, only 1 tower going down from USM's side on the bot lane. Still waiting for the rest to come through for Dalhousie. I guess what is coming up, it will be Dragon in just about 20 seconds. Pro Duel getting a bit cheeky in the mid lane, Bang Bang out, able to pull that flash.
And Pro Duel wants to go in?
I'm a little bit surprised about this one, and they'll just straight up murder Pro Duel. And the bolt attack doesn't really do that much damage either. Good turnaround. Now the rebuttal though, as a final shot comes through, Cooter Thug is now godlike in that damage output. They're going to jump straight onto Mind Control, who flashes away as well. Bang Bang out, doesn't have anything else.
Bork, no!
Bork taking one of the most dangerous routes I've seen, and forced a flash Requiem being used. But the burn is good, as the Leandries will capture one more, and Dalhousie, with that second kill, will take control of the Dragon.
And you can tell Bork was not expecting the amount of damage to come through. They still have barrier.
No.
He just didn't use it because he didn't think there was going to be the burn enough to actually finish him off. Really unfortunate from USM. And just like that, Dalhousie. First Dragon, they won, but they lost it. Second Dragon, huge team fight to secure it, but there was a dicey face-off. This third one had no questions whatsoever. That was an exclamation mark from Dalhousie. They want it, they go in, they take it.
Huge dub overall, and for Dalhousie, you're looking in very comfortable positioning. The big question is now how to use that pressure to start taking the towers and opening up enemy space. You're still leaning a little bit more towards just regular laning 1-2-1. And right now, Pro Duel obviously in the bot side though, getting a lot of damage down on this tower. So we're going to see these gentle lane assignments probably for the next, I would say, 3-4 minutes until we get to see another major dragon situation. I don't see them shifting to like tower dive anything. Instead, just slowly try and whittle away at the towers and take the gold that way. Yep, there it goes.
Yep, sure enough, in the mid lane, finally chip it away by Cooter. Overall, I agree with your analysis, but hold up, topside.
And that's going to be a very nice unstoppable force. Quick jump in. Bork actually gets a win on the bot side on the 1v1. Looks like Proto went too far. Same with Autumn. So the solo laners of Dalhousie go down.
Okay, good punish from USM on the top side. That rotation that we were talking about, we wanted to see Mind Controlled be able to kind of unlock himself and help out a little bit more. Finally, Gangsta top lane able to convert, but this ball lane, look, I fully agree with you that, you know, Dalhousie Iron just needs to take it slow. They don't need a turret dive, right? They're stronger right now. Just play around objectives, you know, find the winning matchup and kind of go for that. Unfortunately, Pro Duel does not believe in taking a chill. He went in and he was punished under turret, and now it's going to be Escott in trouble. You can't be channeling that ultimate in the middle of a fight when you're still alive.
I don't know where you were looking. That almost feels like a panic ultimate because I don't think anyone on the side of USM was low. So a great win by USM to surprise F. Scott Rift Herald. You said, hey, how is the team of USM going to start bouncing back? It's doing things like this, flashing in, Curse of the Sad Mummy, getting these individual wins.
And we're talking about how Mind Controlled's Jax, when we saw the ban come through, was a good one because Mind Controlled can be such a carry force for his team. It's better to put him on things like Dr. Mundo or force him onto his other comfort picks like Dr. Mundo. But this Silas is doing very similar things to what a Jax can do. It's a carry. It's a scaling carry. And Mind Control down gold, team was struggling, did not care. Invaded as if he was the boss. And guess what? He kind of was. He found F. Scott, punished him, and with the jungle off the table, with Pro Duel, you know, still in the death chamber at that point from the bot side dive, which kind of backfired, USM are able to reestablish themselves on the Rift. We know that they're 2,000 gold behind, but if you're on the Rift right now, it's going to feel like USM is strong. Heck, maybe strong enough to win a team fight.
Sometimes all you need is that good vibe. All you need is that confidence to say, hey, we're going to be the winners at the end of the day. If you can pull that off, hey, big win in your own. Mind Control trying to clear out this Herald, but obviously it ain't gonna work. Charge goes down, doesn't take the tower itself, but it's still fairly close. I think that's only about 300 HP left on that tower side, so we'll see if it goes down. Baron is up though, has been up for the last 3.5 minutes. Nobody has the right to look that way though, and I'll be honest, if I see anyone start Baron right now, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, it's kind of dicey. If they're looking at the Baron right now for Dalhousie
Iron.
Iron.
Is an understatement, I feel like.
Well, they technically have earned the right with how strong their early game was, but they don't have a true tank, so it gets messy. Oh, Pro Duel.
I like this. Of course, Mind Control showing off some of that damage, but a flash for flash comes all the way out. Art of Play now realizing they're in the wrong spot. What a bait coming out from Pro Duel. Big turnaround with the bullet time. Mind Control is on the wrong side of the map, trying to dance over the side. Turns it around. One more snap, and the heal is massive from Pro Duel's end. Kill on the top side. Save your mid laner while you lose a tower in the mid. So for Dalhousie, prioritizing lives over towers.
Okay, this Baron's still really questionable. This is a replay of what happened to the first dragon. They don't have a tank.
Remember what I said? I'm not thrilled about seeing you actually start the Baron up. Vanish toss goes wide. Feng Meng Ao isn't able to contest further, so will be pulled off of it. No, Pro Duel, stop, my man. Just no, we're not doing that today.
But Pro Duel is making some strategically questionable decisions, but tactically he's making it work. It's really fun to watch. Bang Bang, I was in!
No! Only able to curse with the Sad Money 1, which means everyone else, the true damage dealers, were able to shut them down. Autumn wins out on the bot side somehow, with some of the lowest HP I've seen in a battle against a tank.
I'm actually really curious what happened on bot, because Autumn winning the fight makes sense to me. Autumn being that low kind of doesn't when she's been smacking around Nier for most of this game. So, hey, props to Nier for getting Autumn that low, but Autumn able to get that turret, able to get the pressure going. And for USM, they avoided the worst case scenario. They stopped the Baron take. But it really is unfortunate that they couldn't find the punish and the turnaround when Dalhousie Iron were actually in the Baron pit. And now for that, because they weren't able to get that, Dalhousie Iron still able to exert themselves, get themselves the dragon, and Mind Control is deep behind enemy lines. I think he was looking for the steal, won't be able to find it, but should be safe to get out.
You know who's not really safe to get out? Bork.
Flash.
Yeah. Oh,
he's got Flash. He's fine.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Flash is available, but like, we've also seen Bork misjudge how much damage is actually coming out of Karthus. So it's like, I wouldn't blame them if they misjudge where Hook was going to land. That's all I'm going to say because I've been tricked by Nautiluses before.
That's right. You know, I have faith in Bork. Not expecting a Requiem from on high to just randomly kill you. Understandable. When you see 4 guys running at you and one of them's a Nautilus, you see that hook come out, you just flash, man. You don't even take that risk. If you die there, you lose Baron.
True. All right, you know what? I give you that one. I give you that one 100%. Agreed. Bork is going to be safe, though, and you have all your summoner spells up, which means you'll have the ability to look at a Baron if possible. The problem being is, of course, you got to get away from Autumn, who realizing that there's a giant rock in your face, it's back to a standoff-ish moment. We see this a lot with some teams that are just unsure of how to play the laning states, and they're not sure how to kind of push the side lanes. It's just corral around the main objective and see if you get a pick.
And this is where vision control becomes really important. And USM, for all that they have made some mistakes this game, their vision around this Baron has been pretty good. So they're fully aware of when Dalhousie is actually in the area and whether or not they're starting it up. And that's what's allowing them this time that they have, where Art of Way can go into the bot side, try and catch up, get some of that CS. He has gone a bit more of the tankier build with the Thornmill already, so can survive on low econ. Nier is also really, really tanky. They're just trying to buy time for themselves to scale back up, get Bork online, and Mind Control is continuing to just be an absolute fiend in the jungle. The one thing that's kind of messing them up is that ward that they don't see, where Mind Control is spotted. So Dalhousie also knows where they are, and Dalhousie is trying to see if, hey, can we set up a pick of some sort? I mean, you might find it
might be possible, but again, you're also realizing that there's a lot more members around. Yes, Cooter Thug is there, but Gale Force has to kind of opt in, but you are opted in onto now, and it's a whole different story now that no one is truly there.
TP?
You're able to take out most of it, but that's a great curse aside. Mummy, you dash straight to the back line, and then a follow-through damage when you put yourself in really awkward positions. In comes the Requiem. It will claim a life. That's a double for the undead man himself. And Cooter Thug brings a close to 2 more lives as Art of Play was nowhere close. Dalhousie to start up the Baron.
And Dalhousie to claim the Baron. Only Art of Way alive was not actually able to use that heroic entrance, which his team needed so incredibly much. The line between a hero and a villain is very, very thin, Orbital. If he lands an entrance, he's a hero. He missed it, he's kind of low-key the villain of the team for not being there on that team fight.
It's 1 and 2, and it's also just something that we have talked about a little bit, right? We looked at the champion pool for Art of Play, and I personally didn't see a Galio in the mix. You know, we saw the play, obviously. It was a very big pickup, but I didn't really see it. They have things like the Sway and like the not the Jinx, the Way, Lux, Vladimir even and all.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in there that have a lot higher impact in terms of damage profile. And the fact that they chose the Galio, I wonder if they're just maybe not as experienced on this champion.
Perhaps. I mean, I like the idea in the draft, right? I didn't feel like they needed necessarily more damage with the Silas and the Caitlyn already, and when Malphite can just build a little bit of AP to kind of pop people down, there's no true tank on the side of Dalhousie either, so that was fine. But surely, yeah, I agree, the execution has been very rough. I think Pro Duel has really been able to run away with that game, but tell you what, Orbital, I don't think that's the biggest problem they have right now, or that wasn't what cost them that last fight. I think the bigger issue... Oh! The Unstoppable into the pool!
Yep, I mean, I feel like Nier Ultima kind of knew that they were dead. It was a rough call to make. They had to pull the trigger, and Pro Duel's just like, I'm going to go for it. I'm strong now, 6-6 and 11, 3 items deep, 100% winning that.
I don't think Pro Duel cares whether he's strong. Pro Duel's been doing this all game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you're right. Now he is strong. The kill threat's actually through. But the other big problem, I think, was I feel like they don't know how to play around Karthus. Like, F. Scott diving the Karthus in a choke point was what really ended up killing them. Yes, they got the kill on F. Scott, but F. Scott got the Requiem. He was kind of just laying waste and defiling the entire time he was dead, and just chunked through the entire threat line of USM, most of whom are melee champions, and only Bork is ranged. So if USM can't find a good position to actually get a fight or get a pick onto the squishies of Dalhousie, specifically F. Scott, because Cooter's yet to be caught in rotation, been doing a fantastic job with his positioning, then I don't see USM really able to find sort of a comeback into this current state of the game.
That actually scares me a lot. For USM, you're starting to see a lot of your game 1 doors closing in your face. Another one is going to slam down even harder on you right now. Dragon now started up with double burn plus the spin. There's almost no way for you to get in on this one. It's Dalhousie's all day long. Mind Controlled maybe looking for a chance, but it'll only be an after Dragon fight. And this one, I don't think you want anything to do with it. Everyone looking to recall here. Dalhousie have the soul, and for USM, somebody's got to pay the tax, and it's not a pretty one to have to deal with. Oh no, Mind Controlled. Someone had a clicker, drew him right into enemy hands.
The vision inequality as well around that particular play, I think, was what actually shafted Mind Control so badly. If you recall back to the last Dragon, Mind Control was thinking about stealing it and ran the exact same way, but last time there were no wards. Pro Duel 1v3?
I mean, you absolutely could, but don't want to take it at the— Oh my god!
The burn!
Do it.
One more tick?
Do it. You are on the chase 100%. You just don't want to flash for a single ADC. That is so blatantly disrespectful. Pro Duels is like, you're not worth my flash.
I still can't believe Proto didn't flash for that. All the other times Proto just went in, and this time said, you know, that's fine. I'll wait for the rest of my team. And I don't hate the call. You've got a team coming in, you've got supers, and last fight.
And that's going to be the Recommend coming down to help accent this battle. In goes the bullet time once more, drawing a close. Your HP bars, a single bounce on the back of the head draws you even further. Triple kill for Kuda Thug before they fall. Mind Control is going to try their best to fight off a wave of double AP, but there's only so far you can go. Zanya's being used for Mind Control. You can't do it like the pros. The Vladimir has so much built-in healing. You're just not gonna win that battle. A final ace to secure the win. 32.5 minutes, Dalhousie take game number 1.
A valiant attempt from USM towards the end, but once again, it just felt like they didn't have an answer to the Karthus and the way he just kind of sits there to trying to get onto the backline. I think Kuda Thug played phenomenally in terms of his positioning and making sure he was never under threat, and USM just weren't able to find that backline access. I really think they needed near quite a lot sooner, and even at the end it just felt like they were lacking a little bit. But they did have a decent early game, and I'm kind of looking at them to maybe change up their composition a little bit. Reminder, it's not Fearless tonight, not in Div 7, so all these champions are still available once more. Maybe we see USM look for the misfortune themselves after seeing Kuda pilot it so incredibly well, and maybe they make a change to the bans, because I like the Ornn ban to deny it from Autumn. But the Garen looks so much scarier. That Garen almost Flame Horizon. Did she Flame Horizon here ultimately?
I think she did. I think she did at one point, but that was at that point where you're like, I'm beaten into the ground as a Malphite. You should be Flame Horizon. But I think Autumn was like 80 CS already before the kills came through. 100% I would agree. And I think it is a good call. Try and take a look at that top side and maybe get Mind Controlled a little bit more active in these battles as well. And at the last stake, don't give the enemy mid laner 2 kills for free to start off. That's just never going to end well at the end of the day. We'll go to a quick break. When we come back, game number 2 on the horizon for the League of Legends matchup here in the NECC.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. Hey, you don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me, you don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me, you don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
Game 2 on the horizon, and we are here to watch it show up. Whether it'll be a pretty one or a horrendous one, either way will be one to watch for. These two teams went back and forth in quite bloody fashion, which saw Dalhousie University Iron come away with the victory, thanks to some stellar play from Cooter Thug and Pro Duel, who both popped off in that game.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd be worried about the game being bad. Game 1 was epic. Like you said, they went back and forth, plenty of action, plenty of blood, and even right to the very end, there was still a chance for USM to make their own way back into the game. Yep. And that's, I think, what's exciting me for Game 2, precisely because it was kind of close. You know, you can potentially run it back. Once again, reminder, it's not fearless draft in Div 7. Yes. So they literally could run back the exact same draft. Now, I don't expect that to happen. I do believe I got word that it is going to be USM opting for blue side in Game 2. So they will have first pick, which means that Misfortune that got slammed immediately, well, it is also a champion that Bork plays a ton of.
Yeah, and I think for Bork, who also did somewhat well, I think, in the early game on the Caitlyn, it is something that you do have to be worried about. If it's going to be traded out between the two, I'd rather just ban it out myself. Speaking of Cooter Thug, an ex-Dota 2 ranked player was Diamond equivalent in that game. And for all of you that know, and I'm going to make a lot of people mad or happy, Dota 2 is the superior League of Legends. So, you know, if a Diamond player is in there, you know, Dota 2,
get this guy out of here.
It's pretty good. Listen, I know where I stand in the MOBA community. I know where I stand. I give credit where credit is due. Diamond in Dota 2 is pretty good, and we saw it there with multiple, I want to say, off-air kills. And for Cooter Thug, I want to see Cooter Thug be able to put up that type of fight once more in this game, even if not on the Misfortune.
I'm sorry, Cooter, but just pointing out, Diamond and Dota, silver in League, man. League's harder.
Oh.
But no, I see where you're coming from. I do agree. I think Cooter Thug showed really good mechanics and very good spatial awareness in those team fights as well. Yes. He died, once in that game, I believe? Twice in that game. That was it. And mostly in team fights, if they were getting the kill on Cooter Thug, it meant that USM had overextended grossly by that point. So really, really well played from them. But the one I'm actually keeping an eye on is actually Pro Duel, because in the mid lane, Pro Duel gave, and he also took away. So if there is an opportunity for USM to kind of come back in, it felt like a lot of those chances we saw were actually coming from Pro Duel maybe overextending a little bit at times. And I just think back to, you know, that last sort of pick where he found Bork on the Caitlyn, didn't flash to secure the kill. And he contrasts that to all the other times he did flash, did dive, did do all those very interesting plays.
Yeah, I mean, very flashy, very understanding, but also recognizing that, hey, the Caitlyn's not the biggest thing. I need to have the flash for the rest of the team. And we will look to see if that happens here as we are on to the draft. USM will be on the blue side, as you called out. For Dalhousie immediately going back with that Jax. I believe it was a Jax into a...
Jax, Shaco, Tristana were the bands that came through from Dalhousie. Yep. And then for USM, it was the Akshan, LeBlanc, Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, and I am wondering if you are correct in that Tristana will be swapped out for the Misfortune. Would make the most sense here.
Yeah, we might also see Dr. Mundo potentially being a ban away, depending on how it goes, because it was USM who banned it, but that's another sort of contested pick between both sides. So USM gets their choice first. Do they change it up, not ban the Mundo? So far, the LeBlanc and Akshan are the same.
Yeah, I mean, this is as even as it gets. No big changes here for USM. This is where that big change comes out.
Okay.
You are respecting the Vladimir ban, saying it was too powerful, it was too destructive, we can't let it go through. I like it at the end of the day. It does mean that I feel Dalhousie might give R5 over to Pro Duel, who did very well, and there's a Misfortune that he called RMC right there in our B3 position.
Yeah, and we might just see sort of the Tristana being handshaked with Dr. Mundo. I would almost prefer USM just picks the Dr. Mundo early, because I don't think Cooter Thug plays that much Tristana. So, no, they would just want to secure it for Bork. Understandable. Bork, on the Caitlyn, we saw that he was able to out-duel Pro Duel under the turret, but he was often kind of left alone by Bang Bang Owl a little bit, especially once the first couple of levels kind of went by. With the Tristana, if you get her a kill pre-3, she can lane 1v2. Really, Cooter Thug? Really? Not a champion I necessarily equated with Cooter Thug, but so I guess you're saying that, hey, Bork, let me show you how it's done.
I love the fact that we get that, though, because it is going to be a little bit more focused on supportive fire. We just talked about that. The Caitlyn can be good in certain aspects, can bring a lot of damage down if need be, but it's supportive because there's a lot of eyes now on Pro Duel, who might be going that Aurelia mid and matched by a possible Yone. Art of Way and Pro Duel, please say you're bringing the Swordsman versus the Blades.
I will say, I favor the Irelia side of that matchup a lot more. Vigar being picked up. And Orbital, I know you're a huge fan of Vigar, so
yeah,
that's going to be an interesting one. I actually almost feel like Vigar in the mid lane into Irelia might be a better matchup than the Yone, simply because Irelia just specializes at dealing with a lot of these melee champions. But the Vigar could also be flex support. And given what we saw, given that Bam Bam Al is a Shaco player, I'm not willing to discount that he's going to play anything. Like anything wild could show up in that support position.
Yeah, and I also want to point out this entire time, we actually haven't seen a Dr. Mundo ban come out or pick up.
True.
Either way, so that's still on the table to be kind of that tankier side on the top side if you need to. Right now, though, it is the Malphite ban away, so for Dalhousie, giving respect over to the fact that a Wombo combo could be painful, and considering we are looking for follow-up engagement coming behind that Yone, I like that idea. Still a lot of respect handed over to Autumn in the top lane. She has now drawn that Ornn. I would almost expect a secondary ban of the Garen. Remember last time it was the Aurelia in this position. So, I mean, that's off the table now. Nocturne in the jungle role, banned out against Mind Controlled.
Yeah, so that's interesting that they opted to actually flex away into the jungle. A part of me wonders, not so much that they are worried about mind control on the Nocturne specifically, it's just the Nocturne as a whole and what it can do to the coordination of your team. Right now, you're seeing a Caitlyn and Irelia. Both of them tend to kind of want to do their own thing. We're not seeing a ton of team synergy. So I'm kind of curious what they're going for with support in top lane that might need coordination, and therefore they don't want the lights to just be turned off. For USM, though, they're going to take out the Nautilus. Fun fact, Gale Force, she's actually an Enchanter main. I know she plays a lot of Nautilus, but that's more for the team. And I think that's more for the team fight compositions. And this, so far, like we're talking about, is not a team fight composition.
Yeah, I actually would have really liked the Nami here. I believe that's Gale Force's most played champion. I think it synergizes very well with the extra ability hits with those passive E procs on there as well. You can synergize it with a Karthus as well. But USM going straight into damage mode with the Dr. Mundo that you talked about. But for the side of Mind Controlled, a yet again aggressive jungler. This one, though, fully set on only helping themselves. There is not a single jungler out there that will ever play Kayn and not try and play for themselves. Top side, though, Camille to come out with some blows. We're going blow for blow here for both squads.
Yeah, really interesting sort of responses coming through from Dalhousie Iron as well, especially Autumn. Again, I was thinking of Autumn as like the Ornn player. We talked about her as a weak side queen, right? Ornn, Malphite, things that support the team. Game 1, she took a Garen. Garen is notoriously bad at team fighting because he can't get into the fight most of the time, and she crushed it in her lane. Now she's picking the Camille. That is a counter pick into the Mundo specifically. Camille known as something that can just kind of break tanks. Yes, she's not as strong as she was back in the Divine Sunderer days, but she's still good if she can scale up. And once again, Autumn feels like she wants to take the game in her hands and say, I can just win the 1v1, dominate that. And Dalhousie Iron's composition as a whole feels very sort of win lane, win game. Like we are all very good at dueling. Even Caitlyn Karma, right? They are great at oppressing the lane. You don't necessarily get the kills, but the zoning potential and the poke potential is huge. And against a Tristana Vigar specifically, you're often playing out of range with the Vigar. Tristana has to hard commit. And if she ever fails to kill you on that dive, she is not getting back out. That rocket jump is a one-way trip for this Tristana. So a lot of potential early lane dominance, whereas USM, they're not exactly team fight either. But I like the scaling on the side with the Yone, with the Mundo, with the Kayn. Specifically with the Mundo for Nier Ultima. If he gets big enough, he's actually going to be a big issue for Dalhousie. But the big condition on that is that he does get big enough and that he doesn't lose the lane. If he loses the lane, if Autumn is able to two-tap him, then all bets are off, and it's just going to become an absolute bloodbath. Who catches who in the late game?
Yeah, and I think we already know where both teams sit on trying to catch each other in the late game. We saw multiple instances of both teams kind of throwing caution to the wind and having this ability to just say, it doesn't matter if we win or lose a battle, we just need to go as a team. I mean, we saw times where we saw, I think, Bang Bang Owl very specifically diving in on that Amumu where we were just like, why would you dive that? Why would you decide they're going as a team, right? And you follow the call as a team, whether it works or not. We are heading into game number 2, though, and it is Bang Bang Owl this time. Not really driving with any sort of hard CC diving in. Instead, the event horizon will be the calling card if anyone steps up a wee bit too close.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the range on that event horizon is pretty big as well. It's just, you can see it coming. There's enough time for you to usually get away if you're not overly committed into it. I do like the Ignite as well, because that does tell me that Bork and Bang Bang Ao are looking for a kill lane in the bot side. And we talked about Tristana early levels. Pre-level 3, she has some of the highest burst in the bot lane that you can potentially get. The explosive shot with rocket jump combo. You don't really need sort of the attack steroid on the Tristana Q. You just want the explosiveness. And you pair that with a Vigar, who also can pump out a lot of damage with the Ignite as well. And there is a lot of threat to potentially come through. So continue to watch Cooter and Gale Force's positioning. Last game, we really praised Cooter's positioning. This time, Gale Force has to be able to dodge everything as well.
Let's see if we can do some work here. Everyone's slowly starting to weigh, but mind controlled, already trying to get some advantages over F. Scott Rift Herald. Early invade, forcing Rift Herald away. And big part about that is, again, no flash on this Karthus. Good push out, I think. I'm trying to double check. It actually looks like Mind Control stole it, so huge win there. And now Pro Duel in the mid lane is in a little bit of trouble, flashing away, and the Soul Snap back puts Pro Duel at under 100 HP.
Bot side as well. All the damage is just raining down from USM. Very aggressive start. And if you're a USM fan, you're happy and here to see it, especially in that mid lane. That's a huge surprise. Yone is not expected to win out those early levels necessarily, and Pro Duel even took the Ignite. And now Dalhousie Iron take a step back a little bit. Their offensive lane pressure is going to go down. Gale Force having to flash net. The Bork overextend.
No.
Not like this. Bork had barrier again.
It hurts to see RMC, it really does. As in the mid lane, Pro Duel wins! Wait, Pro Duel won? With fractions of... What? 15?
Yeah, less than 50. By the time we went back, he had passively healed. Didn't even use the Ignite. I don't know what happened mid lane. Or bro, the outcome is what we expected. Dalhousie winning the lane. How we got here is a mystery and a half.
Oh, it's gonna happen on top side too. What an anchor! Autumn lollipopping to the wire and getting a clean kill. That is now a kill in every single lane for Dalhousie.
Yeah, that is a huge problem for USM. Like, yes, they were expected to do out the lane, but ideally you're not giving all these kills over. And it's kind of in stark contrast to game 1, where F. Scott was not collecting the objectives like the Infinity Stones. In fact, he was actually just killing people like Thanos. He just went to every single lane and ganked early, pre-level 6. This game, he's getting the power farm. He got invaded early, but that shouldn't happen again, because now Dalhousie has winning lanes across the board. His lanes have found their own leads and should be able to cover his jungle.
Yep, gotta go back and just get a little bit extra for your own tank, but with those kills going in, big purchases came out on the other end for each side. Cooter trying to get a little extra, actually 90 caliber netted straight into the Event Horizon, which always feels a little bit bad. But I'm watching this mid lane, and there it is again. That might look to be a straight up kill. Ignite should take away the last, and there is no pot to help, but the last stick doesn't go through, and Artofue is able to live. Still, though, big win for Pro Duel once again.
Yeah, I just thought Artofue was dead when Pro Duel went in. Bot lane, we are seeing F. Scott Herald in the area, has the exhaust. Should be this easy.
Yep, I mean, good gank. And the tether goes through. Gale Force in control. Exhaust coming down. Skittle's going to take your life away. You do have a barrier alive, so it could do some work, but another tether is broken. As that's a flash out, and I think it was a heavy investment onto Bork that Bang Bang Ao safe.
Yeah, I think F. Scott was trying to hold the exhaust, being a little bit greedy with it, but it meant that Gale Force and Cooter weren't able to follow up, and they didn't actually have enough damage to convert. Now, Karthus has gone missing. Mind controlled over the wall.
And maybe you get that chance, but another tether means that you might not be able to force it, but there's the flash that you needed. And Cooter looking for a chance. 90 caliber netted right back into the fray. Was trying to get Bang Bang out, but there's only so far that you can go. Another barrier will keep you safe as Bork will take a kill back, and that is now a 2-0 win for the bot side of USM.
And it's critical as well, because that 2-0 on the bot side is on top of the lane advantages that Bang Bang Ao and Bork were already able to get. Every time we kind of panned onto the bot side, Bang Bang Ao was getting Event Horizon on either Cooter or Gale Force. And that already got them a CS lead, now gets them a kill lead. And Mind Control, give him an inch, he'll take the whole foot, the thigh, the entire leg off if he has to. He just gets one kill on bot side, and he's invading once again. We were just saying F. Scott should get coverage from his lanes, but no, because bot side just kind of fell apart. Mind Control is right back in there looking to see what he could get. I think he stole the blue buff, though he didn't manage to secure the Grom.
I mean, blue buff is more than enough. You steal away a very crucial part of F. Scott being able to take a lot more of those camps. Not only that, maybe looking at the Dragon, which is up, sitting there for about 40 seconds. That can be the next objective for the team. However, in the mid lane, level 6 versus a level 5, and for Art of the Way, there's no way out. That is exactly what we expected, as Pro Duel is now winning these straight in 1v1s.
I don't remind everybody, the Irelia was picked first. They knew it was going mid. And Art of Way opted for the Yone. So this lane, I do feel like Art of Way just needs to play a little bit safer. Wait till Mind Control can kind of cover you. You do outscale, or, well, you don't necessarily ever win the 1v1s, I don't think. But as a Yone, your team fight impact's much higher later on if you can just get there. So you just need to play safe, take it slow. And if you can just hold Pro Duel to the mid lane, that's fine as well. Top side. Autumn looking for this one. The Ignite is ticking down. The flash in for the secure.
You gotta love it. I mean, that is knowing your limits to perfection, and Autumn did it without losing so much as a spec. I think only took one tower shot there. Beautiful work there for Autumn.
The solo laners for Dalhousie are just popping off this game. Babylon doesn't land the Event Horizon.
And it might not be enough. However, that's his chase on both supports, but both might be able to get away. Gale Force hiding inside the brush, which now allows Cooter Thug to get free shots down.
Where's Bork gonna go?
And I don't think Borg is going to go anywhere. I love this stance from Gale Force. Gale Force is baiting perfectly, waiting for the moment at the end. And was no! Did you not have E up? I thought you had E up. Either way, it's 1-for-1 at the end of the day. And we'll leave everyone a little bit worse for wear. Pro Duel, though, this time on a 1v2 and not liking that one. Umbral Trespass being used, but a dive forward, and Pro Duel is going to flash in to get that kill. Dancing right back, almost gets the 2v1. But the tower helps out in amazing fashion. USM, though, sweating bullets as it turned to a 1-for-1 at the end of the day.
Oh, F. Scott doesn't have Requiem. He's going to try and power farm this. Mind control. Oh, my goodness. He's got
it sealed away.
He's played.
He stole it. He stole it. He's like, no level 6 for you today. I love it.
I actually don't know how close F. Scott is to level 6, though. Like,
he is extremely. He is literally like half a camp off. That purple bar is like a tick away. He should get it off of this.
Yeah, I think it's too late, though. Mind Control has already managed to heal up in the jungle, so the window has closed. But, overall, I want to go back to that bot side, because I wish we had a replay. I think Bork actually managed to buy an item, which was what secured the kill onto Gale Force. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, it might have made the difference, because that was so incredibly close. And in the mid lane, Pro Duel, in game 1 with the Vladimir, he was doing a lot of sort of 50-50 plays. This time on the Irelia, he's so much more comfortable. You can see it. Like you said, if not for that turret shot, he actually wins that 1v2. And we've seen Irelias constantly get away with that. Every time they get the kill, they heal back up. So it gets harder and harder to deal with them. F. Scott this time collecting the dragons early on. He's really focused on that. Now level 6 with the Requiem, and with the amount of kill pressure we've seen across the lanes, I think F. Scott's in a really good position. And in general, Dalhousie should be in a great position to snowball their individual leads with that extra bit of damage.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more than comfortable kind of taking this laning phase like we saw them back in game number 1. What was it? By minute 20, I think they were still waiting on a lot of their towers. They had gotten some damage, but nothing concrete until they applied pressure with double, with ADC in mid, right? So it will take them a little bit longer as well, but this fighting can be even more aggressive as we're seeing Gale Force draw that Event Horizon out a lot. Cooter Thug hiding inside of the brushes, that's already warded. So everyone trying to use their buys to get a much larger lead for Cooter Thug. You're also building straight into that Executioner to try and pop some low HP targets.
Yeah, and I think we saw there between Cooter and Gale Force what that lane was meant to do. Just dodge out the Event Horizon, lay down the poke, and you can see there's not a lot of trade back. Bang Bang, I was actually burning through a ton of mana to even try and equalize that poke whatsoever. And even then, it's not quite hitting yet. Vigar does need time to skill, though all those skills landing is helping with the Vigar AP passive. Mind Control on this top side, wanting to start this up. It's quite ballsy considering they have no control in the solo lanes. But so far, Pro Duel and Autumn have not shown any propensity to even leave their lane and check the river whatsoever.
No, it's usually been just the junglers do their own thing, laners stay in the lane, keep control over their own lane opponent, and that is the pressure that they provide, at least in this game, and it will be 3 grubs handed over to USM. Now a float towards that mid lane. Started play is getting dove a little bit. Pro Duel not liking where they're currently at. Good Fate sealed, catches Pro Duel on the edge, and it doesn't feel like there's enough HP or healing to come out, so it will be Art of Play to pick up that kill.
Yeah, Pro Duel going really, really deep there. Just trying to chip away that turret. I don't think it's necessary. And also just the ward coverage. it's kind of baiting them a little bit because Dalhousie is getting the usual wards down to control the jungle entrances. But mind control's on Kane, and Kane just walks through walls. So a lot of those choke points that you normally ward aren't actually catching him moving. And now mind control is kind of running ahead of the curve a lot. We talked about how he can be a carry for the team. Yeah, Dalhousie has to be aware of that, and USM is more than happy to play around that alternate win con.
On the outside, Bang Bang out, stepping a little bit too far forward and now caught in a weird spot. Flashes out to safety. Gale Force in the mix as well. Mind Control comes through. Umble tresses straight into the body, which leaves F. Scott Ritchfield in an alone position.
We've been here before.
Of course, with an extra Requiem, you might get the kill, but no, Mind Control is still very powerful. Is able to survive out in their own river. Well played by USM.
No mana for Cooter to use the ace in the hole to secure that onto mind control. So he's going to be A-okay farming this one up. And overall, not going to lie, I was worried for a second. They once again dove F. Scott in a choke point. And you can see the damage he's putting down before he really completes his items. And we've seen last game what happens when he does complete his items. So a little bit scary, but hey, USM got away with it for now.
You're about to get away with a lot more here as well. Last auto attack will take that kill, but Pro Duel is here to play. Buster Shot isn't available, so it's going to be a straight up duel, and I think for Pro Duel, you're just going to chase the free kill right there. Quick snap 1, 2, and Pro Duel will grab 1. No secondary all the way on the back end as Bork is already gone.
Loki, I think they could have just left that one to F. Scott and then had Pro Duel just kind of run down Bork to secure as much as possible. Mind control.
Oh, wow. And Pro Duel just left the bottom lane as well.
Yeah.
Mind controlled 5-0 and 1. Disgusting on this Kane.
Well, you know what? I think USM fans are going to be really happy. He's an absolute monster and a threat right now. Oh, the stun lands.
And it's not going to be enough to chase down Pro Duel, controlling Overway. Mind controlled, even though it's a low HP, knows that Pro Duel currently has that Bork in hand. You ain't fighting that.
Yeah, and you've got no heal cut on mind control right now. So the amount of healing that could come through with the Karma Shield in back pocket is just a little bit too risky. Thankfully, I think for now, Pro Duel is still not necessarily keeping pace with Mind Control, and Mind Control is a jungler. He's meant to gank. He's not falling behind every time he's roaming to get this pressure down, but Pro Duel is dropping the occasional CS here. He's still the CS leader by a lot in this game. 6,000 gold, as you can see, you know, almost like 40%, what's that, 80% more than what Art of Hoi has right now. Still a huge threat. But besides the mid lane, it looks like, at least in the bot lane for USM, Bork and Bang are doing a wonderful job pushing up. They managed to get first brick, and they should now be able to rotate and help out their solo lanes a little bit more.
Pro Duel's like, bro, what did I do to deserve this? I will fight you to the absolute bitter end, though. And a great dash back to the spot where Hui was means you secure your tower's safety as well.
I don't know, I call that bitter end, Orville. That looks pretty sweet and tasty to me. Bang
That is true.
actually laughing. He's taunting.
He is,
Oh,
because
no.
guess what? Poor Bang Bang Ow was like, dude, and now I'm the one in trouble. Tether will lead to their demise as Pro Duel gets a kill for themselves, and Art of Play is happy enough to just keep their life.
Yeah, Cooter's trying to distract on the bot side, but I think Mind Control just jumped onto him.
Yeah, and Cooter is actually running for the hills, but the rest of the team is here. Bork gets slowed by that wall. Wall of Anguish is able to slow a lot of people down by about 40%, I believe, and it's not a fun one to deal with. Mind Control, though, still carrying 5-0 and 1. Went with the Assassination Cane as well, one that we don't normally see. Very much a kill and run style champ.
Yeah, but given that there's no tanks at all, like we were saying that there's no real tanks last game, there's no tanks at all for Dalhousie this time. I think Blue Cane makes a lot of sense. Art of Way almost going down. Mind Control, look at it, turns around, the stun should be good.
15 people brought in to get that kill, it feels like, but it's solely necessary. Pro Duel getting the rougher end of that meeting, and we'll give time for Art of Play to try and get back in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because Pro Duel does get found there by USM for Dalhousie, all the work they put in to try and get control of the mid lane and therefore Dragon is just being undone near. Oof.
We haven't actually taken a look at the top lane in a while, but it has currently lended itself to Autumn, crushing it in the 1v1 department. Might not be close to the Flame Horizon, but if each kill equaled 30 CS, it would be.
True. It's equal to, what was it, about, I think 15 or 16 CS?
Oh god, I couldn't
recall the
remember. I
calculation.
know there was a number that they gave, like, to each kill, depending.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
'cause
get
it's-
what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it says about 300. So yeah, roughly about slightly under 20 CS, depending on which sort of minions you're looking to take. But the bigger problem for me is that while Nier Ultima is doing much better this game than he did last game, we talked about the fact that he does fall behind. This Camille is going to be a massive issue. And given how volatile a lot of these fights have gone, a delayed entry from Autumn and Nier would swing things heavily in Dalhousie's favor. Nier is just not the same threat Autumn has, and the mobility that this Camille has to just access backline, that's going to hunt down Bork. That's going to burst down Bang immediately. And Mind Control, the Kayn is still a melee champion, so if he's bursting all his damage down early, it's not going to be any trouble whatsoever for Autumn to get in range to clean up. For now, though, speaking of range, it's the range duo of this bot lane from USM who have secured themselves the second turret of the game, and that's what's keeping USM barely ahead.
And a lot of that gold is being fed straight into Bork. Keep that in mind. Bork has been the recipient of most of that gold, so that 135 to 120 CS, only 3, 2, and 1, will look distinctly different. At this point, you're almost chasing that straight up IE. Only about maybe, I would say 800 to 1,000 gold off. I think with 3 items in bank, with the crit cloak, it's 600, and then add-on is like 425 or so about 1,025 off. It's not too far off before Bork becomes this menace of just hopping on someone's head and Goomba stomping him.
True, and all the things we were talking about Autumn in terms of being able to run people down and burst them, kind of applies to Tristana as well. Her repeated rocket jumps to resets could be huge. F. Scott, he wants this, but there's no front line to tank them in, and Nier able to run interference. Yeah, it's Mind Control right now who's picking up the Infinity Stones.
Yep, all those extras. F. Scott, there ain't no way you're going to be able to save your life there. And Mind Controlled is just destructive. Oh no! Wait, that's in the hole! Flash to get behind Art of Play. That would have been the kill. Keep in mind, Mind Controlled. Wait, that can't be right, can it? Mind Controlled has no bounty on their head?
Yeah, somehow. I don't know how that happened. That's crazy. Jungle bounties in the jungle get kind of weird.
That is illegal on so many freaking levels. 7, 0, and 1. And 0 bounties. Get out of here, man.
I feel you, bro. That is wild and weird. But yeah, the problem, I guess, is that maybe F. Scott Rift Herald has not fallen that far behind. Autumn looking for the kill we were talking about.
And about to bring that solo queue into the mid lane as Cooter Thug could not do a thing. And F. Scott Rift Herald is actually the one to snap away that kill. Very nicely done. Art of Play is gone.
He did have to burn barrier, Cooter did. So a little bit risky in terms of how that's panning out. Bork going into this one. Hello.
And I think Pro Duel is more than happy about it. Bork going like, I don't want to be here. And that's another Requiem. Destruction on your head. S got Rift Herald on a killing spree of sorts. 2, 2, and 2.
Oh, Bang, please do not do this. He doesn't have ult even yet. It's about to come up though.
It is.
With the ult maybe.
I mean, that Primordial Burst can do a lot, but you don't really have that much AP. And because of that, you can easily get sold out here. You are just dead, my friend. I might love Vygar, but even I know the limits of what a Yordle can do. And you hit it in more when you face Pro Duel.
Oh no, I think we just drip fed the Ironia, and suddenly Dalhousie are just back in the lead. And she's going to keep on pushing. Mind Control, though, trying to do his own 1v3.
That's going to be another catch here, as that's Mind Control going, guys. I don't like this one at all. Ace in the hole, good heal to come through that wall. The Umbral is nice to have, but you drop the Herald just because you need to. But Mind Control, you ain't getting close to that fight once more. You got to recall, and you got back to safety? I'm not sure about this. I'm really not sure about this. If you land against that, you will die. There's a high chance you just die. As you're gonna re-hop in, and you're gonna knock up F. Scott and glide your way out to safety. These are some next level shenanigans as you get the kill as well. You know what? Props to you, Mind Controlled, because you freaking Mind Controlled me.
Are we sure he's not the diamond player from Dota? Oh, Bork's dead. Oh, the knockback.
Buster shot did some work, and now Pro Duel is just gonna shred near Ultima. That is wild, though, that Mind Control got away with it.
This game's hilarious. It's become Mind Control versus Pro Duel by proxy. Who can kill more people in a solo lane as much as possible? Mind Control isn't even a laner and he's doing this. Now, there is a setup happening down on this bot side right now. Mind Control's still dead for 8 seconds as this dragon has spawned. So Dalhousie, they want to take advantage of this, really want to set this up, but it's actually USM with the better vision control.
Yeah, I think for USM, they recognize that they need to keep vision on some of these spots and keep eyes, but for Dalhousie, they also have a lot of wards around this dragon right now, so control inside of the pit in 2 corridors entering in, so vision on both ends for the teams, which means that USM can come away with possibly a wombo combo, but here comes the pinch. Art of Way not liking the position they're in, and there's only so many ways that you can go, which is straight into the enemy ADC. You're not able to get the knockup, but you can get the auto attacks down, and
you get the kill?
is gone on the other side. What was that? Mind control picks up the kill onto Escott Ripchild as well. And it's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. Big win for USM.
Yeah, getting the pick from mind controlled onto the enemy jungler, it's even bigger because of the fact that without the jungler, they can't do this objective. Like, none of them have enough burst either, and mind controlled still has vision in the pit. Yeah, they're just often control wards. You're just clearing out the vision. You're waiting that extra 13 seconds for F. Scott to come back up. But while all this is happening, because of the numbers advantage, Nier in the top lane, finding a turret of his own, starting to catch back up a little bit, become a bit more relevant. And I think in those last couple of fights as well, missed the siege minion, unfortunate. But he's becoming far more relevant in these team fights, I feel like, than Autumn has been able to find.
Yep. As we take a look forward now, 21 minutes into this game, Pro Duel starting to dance on their own a little bit more. It's going to be about carry to carry as Pro Duel is chasing into mind controlled. 9-1-1 of their own. That's going to be a quick slash back and forth. Pro Duel, I think, has another reset, and that is massive damage. Humble Trespass will keep you alive for a little bit longer, but the damage output is massive.
And they get it.
I don't know where that burst came through. I think that was a W. That shield shred was disgusting, but it's a 2-for-1 at the end. But guess who didn't die this time? Dalhousie have the jungler.
Yeah, and when they killed F. Scott, USM weren't able to push in and secure themselves the dragon, but when Dalhousie finds mind control, they have zero hesitation. They know they can do this. Autumn just won out a duel on the top side and has teleport in pocket as well. Art of Hui and Bork have to be very careful. If they overextend, if there's a flank angle from Autumn, she's more than happy to TP and clean this one up.
But I think for Autumn, she's just happy chilling. She's 5-0-1, and look at that. Actually has a right bounty on their head. See, that's how it works. You know, Rito, that's how you put a bounty on something. Granted, 300 is way too little, in my opinion, for a 5-0-1, but it's there, nonetheless. As you said, though, Autumn can enter. We're still waiting for that opportunity. Dalhousie saying it's better for the Camille to be on the side lane, pressure, and get those 1v1s.
Yeah, it's more just the threat of it, right? Similar to what Nier did in that last fight as well, where he's just kind of up in that top side pushing, and if the team needs him, he didn't have teleport necessarily, but, you know, if your team doesn't need you right now, it might as well be up there. Bork, Bork showed in the bush. Autumn's gonna look for the chase down? No? Okay. I think Autumn could have had it.
Yep, well, you know who also could have it is Pro Duel on the top side. Doesn't want to take that chance, though. Mind Controlled will be dancing around them. This is a level 15 versus level 15 in the mix. That's a great catch, though. And look at the auto attacks just on their HP. There ain't no way to survive. Another shard to come out here as that final shield will keep Pro Duel alive for a little bit longer. Clearing the wave thanks to that dash. Waiting for the reset. Is going to get it in more ways than one. And Pro Duel is still alive. How is Pro Duel still alive?
Wait, hold up.
One more chunk, not a kill instead on the other side. It will be Bork to get a kill in their own. I don't know how, but it's close enough as Art of Way will look to fall as Pro Duel in the longest 1v4 I've ever seen survives and gets the kill.
1v4 for whom, Orbital? Because it's Nier currently sat in a 1v3. There's a turret there, but I don't think it's going to save you if they really want to commit to this dive. Okay, the passive from Mundo is able to save him as the CC does not come through. In all that chaos, my biggest question was, what just happened to Autumn? Bork found the kill on Autumn. I think it was a failed turret dive.
And it kind of looks like where that death was. Yeah, very much a failed tower dive. It looks like that was just probably a really good buster shot from Bork, keeping him at bay. Right now, we are watching as the Baron is being done. This is on zero vision, by the way, and it looks like they went a little bit of a different route because no one in USF is calling this. Really well done. Dalhousie getting away with the Baron.
Yeah, there was a ward in the back of the pit, so USM was aware it got started, and I'm assuming that Gale Force cleared the ward, so the vision went down, and you could see for a second Mind Control was thinking, do I run there? I'm going to be honest, I think if Mind Control got there, they stopped the Baron, and they might even find a couple of kills as well. You saw how squishy, how low on health multiple members were, and they were very, very much shredded, but because they lost vision, Mind Control didn't feel comfortable, about it. Now Pro Duel looking for the kill with this Baron push.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you saw the rocket jump. There was nothing else you were going to get away with.
Well, you just shouldn't be pushing up that far. Oh, and that could go for Autumn as well.
Yup. Remember, mind control is still very, very strong.
Yeah.
4 items deep right now, has the axing mark, is going to be trespassing all over in enemy territory. And also the Serpent saying means no extra shields for your own. I feel it's going to come down between mind controlled and pro duel, who kills the most amount of people, and that's going to be who wins the game.
Well, the problem is that we've seen Pro Duel kill multiple times in 1v2 situations. Even this teleport feels really dicey for Nier. He's banking that mind control gets here fast. Oh, there's a whole collapse coming through.
Yeah, I see it, but I'm wondering if they can actually get to a mind controlled. Is going to try and wait.
Oh!
Is able to slow it down, so now it's a full on-fight pro duel. Look at the blade. He is able to get a stun, but
Sunlance.
not much more than that. Very nice event horizon to slow him on
Oh,
down.
shit.
Oh my god! You still burn through with the Ignite! Pro duel in the most unlikely scenario still takes down mind controlled.
Oh, bro, that answers your question.
Yeah.
Can Pro Duel push as hard, or is he as big a threat as mind control? Yeah, he is more than. That was a full 5-man collapse onto Pro Duel, and he still walks away with the inner turret, with the 1-4-1. Pardon me, and it's on USM right now to try and find answers elsewhere. While Pro Duel is off the map for the next 20 seconds, they are strong. What can they find? Bork looking for the bot side inner turret.
They might also be looking for their 5th death of the game here. F's got Rift Trail taking the long route around. Up comes that wall.
Ooh.
No way you're going to be safe, so you have to turn right back on the opponent. But so many extra shields means you are just dead in the water. And with 15 seconds left for Dragon, it's a big play for Dalhousen.
Okay, so quite rough for Bork. I feel like Bork has been punished multiple times for trying to push on that bot side repeatedly, and the turret's kind of low, so it's really tasty looking. The good news is that Bork is pushed up so far, they're not going to lose turrets for the play. The bad news is they're probably going to lose the Dragon. Again, good news, it's not Soul. The bad news, it's Soul Point.
Yeah. Still dangerous in its own, but you can't discount mind controlled, which is why USM is here right now. Mind controlled in the area, so let's go ahead and fight a little bit. Let's see if we can get some damage here. Pro Duel trying to run interferences, staying close to that wall. If you get some more information, tries to flash over the wall, misses, but that's a steal from mind controlled. Mind control jumps in, steals away the Dragon, and keeps it at a 2-2. You will pay the price with 2 of your teammates, but what's 2 deaths to a Dragon? Mind controlled, the star of USM right now.
2 deaths to the Dragon? Not the end of the world. 2 deaths for Dragon, but you lose your inhibitor turret. That trade gets a lot dicier. Thankfully, Baron's completely worn off by now, so... Okay, no, never mind. I was wondering if Bork would be able to hold. No, he can't. Not against this much kill threat. And Mind Control didn't get his recall off. He actually had to cancel it, go deeper in, and then recall again. So they will lose an inhibitor turret and an inhibitor to boot. Dalhousie happy with the trade.
100%. They said, we'll take more and enough, and I didn't respect it. But right now, Pro Duel, level 18, wildly in control. Cooter Thug, though, is definitely not, as that's a clean slice through. Hubris will be your downfall. Mind controlled, it's a real thing to watch. Beautiful job on that cut. Adding to the stacks, 35.
Okay, bad. Don't get caught here.
No.
It's F. Scott.
No. And Gale Force walked into it. Pro Duel, can you turn it around here? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Humble Trespass once again to keep you safe for the moment. A little bit of a snipe on that stunning, going to land, and bang, bang, ow. Just kind of walking away, saying I'll let the rest of my team do it. Pro Duel for their own, though, and saying I have enough healing to kind of keep myself alive. And at this point, it's one of these situations where Pro Duel's like, I can't really kill anyone without expending more, but they can't really kill me unless they're willing to sacrifice someone, and they will. Bang Bang Ow will be the sacrificial lamb at the end of the day, or will they? The Knight taken away, you're still alive for the moment. Pro Duel, though, zinging along the minions for as long as they can before they fall to the 4-man squad.
And Pro Duel bought a lot of time for the rest of the team to respawn. USM not going to be able to push up. Not that there was a lot for them to take, but overall, this is the state of the game at 30 minutes. It feels like both teams have kind of hit certain power spikes that they need to. Skilling is slightly less relevant, and if there is anybody we're still watching at this point, it's probably the top laners. Nier, can he get tanky enough to buy time like he did against Pro Duel, and can Autumn actually join fights and pop people down, because Pro Duel alone is not enough anymore. And as we've seen, a lot of it is about getting picks. Mind Control can instantly pop Cooter, instantly pop Gale Force, instantly pop F Scott. And Pro Duel can do the same pretty much to Bork, Bang, and Out of Way. So at this point, it is not so much an arms race. You're there. It's a vision race. It's about who can launch the first, who shoots first between these two teams.
And who can strike accurately as well. It's all about being able to see your opponent and find that right mark. Mind Controlled will also have a second chance to an extent. Got that GA in as they are 5 items out, but that GA might pop very, very quickly. Humble Trespass. Try to keep yourself safe, but you can't get over the wall in time, so that GA popped as quickly as it was gathered. Fate Seal not being used here just in time as Art of Play is just trying to stay alive. Will be a catch on the back end as the Requiem comes on down. Autumn ready to go with the battle. Bork tries to hop out to safety, and they will. It's the hold lands on the Art of Play very far away. But Autumn destroys Bork where they stand, and you called it, RMC. Big question for Dalhousie. When does Autumn join? Autumn is able to join and more.
Yeah, fall is here, autumn is here, and winter is coming. Dalhousie moving on to Baron as their just rewards for that without Mind Control. The threat isn't there. I'm curious if they try and use Nier as a battering ram to try and get Bang Bang and Out of Way in, but no, the super minions have actually forced them to stay at home at base, and Nier can only just poke his head in to see, but not to contest.
And for Nier Ultima, drafting that Heart Seal only at 63 stacks does not feel good. I'd also like to point out in another kind of interesting item buy, Bang Bang Out opted for a Rod of Ages second, bought that at about 22 minutes into the game, so just waiting for that to stack up. It's a very tanky build. It's a very gold investment build, but it's not bad in terms of trying to stay alive against Pro Duel. It's just surprising to see here.
Yeah, it's a build that we actually saw in mid lane for a while on Vigar, where he just kind of built the Rod of Ages, build a Ceres, and then just go full tank after that because of his passive, right? And the amount of times as a support you're landing your abilities on champions is pretty high, so you end up stacking a lot of AP because every time it lands, you get an AP. Every time you last hit a recruit or a minion, sorry, you also get AP. So Bang Bang is fine with this build, and I think it's a good one. It's actually one of the reasons too why Pro Duel has not looked quite as bursty as Mind Control. It's not that Pro Duel doesn't have the damage, it's that there's a lot more tankiness coming out on USM side.
That's true. I'm maybe not worried about it, but Mind Controlled saying maybe I wish I were a tanky dove on him, but there's too much shielding this time around. With that Zanya's, F Scott Rift-Tailed is not that worried. Ace in the hole to finish with the Requiem as well. And you've led your team to the slaughter. USM trying to save their jungler. Saving Private Ryan has now gone astray. I don't think they like anything of the sort. The rest of USM will fall outside of Nier Ultima. And Dalhousie University Iron take to the battlefield.
Cooter still alive. Pro Duel and Autumn, all the big sort of turret takers for the team. The AD damage, physical damage. Surely this will spell the end of it in Orbital. For Mind Control, you know what? I respect that he was looking for the angle, but it felt like he overforced his hand a little bit. And Dalhousie have no mercy, marching in. 20-second death timers on Art of Way, and Bork 15 on Mind Controlled.
They can do this all day long. Looking at that chunk on the Nexus Tower. Nier Ultima needs to pull something off if they want to hold, but it does not look like it'll happen as Dalhousie 2-0 fashion bring themselves 3-4 to end the regular season.
And a clean, dominant finish in both games 1 and 2 from very different sort of compositions. Game 1, it was more about the team fighting. Game 2, it was all about the snowball. And watching Pro Duel and Autumn just pop off was a beautiful, horrifying thing. It's beautiful if you're a fan of Dalhousie. It was horrific if you're a fan of USM.
Yeah, but for USM, you have to be proud. I think Mind Control played a fantastic game. They're showing a lot of that bulk power to come out here, and maybe it's a little just a difference in understanding of what they want to go for the composition, right? That King can do a lot on its own, but maybe you want to go a little bit more safety, maybe in that mid lane as well. That Yone was almost like a direct challenge, which I don't disagree with. Yeah. It's difficult to play. As you said, the snowball is there. Overall, fantastic series, I think, and it was very fun to watch.
Yeah, and for both these teams, despite the sort of loss that USM have and the win that Dalhousie has, we actually don't know if they make it or not because everything depends on all the other games. Like we said, 2 to 8 was separated by 1 win from top to bottom. So The East A division is going to be wild, but yeah, definitely a great game we got to watch tonight. The 2-0 does not do justice to the back and forth that we saw within the games themselves.
Yep, and of course, same for the teams themselves. We'll wish these teams the best of luck making it into the playoffs for Div 7. If they do, that's great. If not, we wish them well in the next split overall. That'll be the end of the NECC League of Legends side, but tomorrow will be more Overwatch to close out the regular season there as well. Now, keep in mind, for all the NECC fans, next week will be playoff start. Starting Monday, it'll be a lot of matches that you'll see the top dogs battle it out in their divisions for glory and the title. Make sure to stay tuned on all the socials as well and keep up with all the action there. However, for tonight and for everyone tuning in, that has been it for us. My name is Ordo. With me was RMC. We also had Rare Adam on the production, Chippy on the observation, and Ramen on the socials, showing you all the lovely moments. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, and we'll catch you all next time.